Hi everyone, I'm Lazy Cat Lady. Today I'm going to be playing a league on Magic Online with Sultai Time Sieve. I just posted a deck tech about this, so for now the deck list is the same as that deck tech, so I'm not gonna go over anything really at this point. But in future videos, if I make any changes to the deck or the sideboard, I'll just briefly go over them before I start the matches. So let's go ahead and jump into a league. Okay, well, unfortunately I started recording and then realized that I wasn't capturing Magic Online properly, so now I am. I'm in match 1 versus Rakdos Scam. So now I can jump back into it. Pretty easy sideboarding. Bring in extra removal for their threats. I like to have the Nile Spellbomb to try to catch them using Feign Death on something just to protect myself a little bit from those draws. And then I usually bring in Needle for engineered explosives or other pieces of interaction, and then a couple Haywire Mites for Blood Moon, etc. One Ring is amazing against them. This is a discard matchup, so I like to cut cards that are less impactful by themselves. So Manufactor, Time Sieve, usually cut a Unearth, cut a Blood Fountain, probably Steel Seeker, Dispute. Let's try that. Alright, game 2. Woo! Recording properly. Yay. It's as if I'm new at this. Ooh. This looks like a pretty great hand. They could take the Cookbook if they have the turn 1 Thoughtseize, but I have a basic for Blood Moon, and I got Oval Chase, Cookbook, extra food source, Unearth if they want to take my creatures, so we're going to go ahead and keep. Alright, oh, opponent mulligans, that's good news for me. Alright, start with 6. You got the Grief. Thoughtseize. Okay, probably just taking Underworld Cookbook. I can't imagine taking anything else from this hand. Let's rework my hand a little bit. Alright. Well, no Ragavan, we're not getting turn 2 Blood Mooned. Which kind of makes me want to lead on the Saga. We'll see what we draw. Pithing Needle. Yeah, I think I will lead on the Saga. We just need to really try to get that Cookbook. Now they could have a Voidwalker here, which would be, you know, frustrating, but not the end of the world. Oh, second Thoughtseize. That's not great, but we can deal with it. Maybe they take Needle, but maybe Needle doesn't matter. Depending on what they take, I might cycle Unearth next turn. Well, Manufacturer's pretty powerful. I'd like to be able to Unearth Manufacture and Goose same turn though, so another Saga. I don't want to walk both of these into a Blood Moon. What else do I want to Needle from their deck? Probably just EE. I could force them to fetch now. I think I'd rather just hold the Needle though. Even though this is less mana efficient, I don't really want to put that into play. Oh, they yielded? I probably could have needled their Bloodstained Mire. If they weren't paying attention, that would have been really bad for them. Alright, what do we got? Magus of the Moon. Very unfortunate. That's quite bad for us. We can Unearth Manufacture next turn. We don't have any other lands. I might just want to cycle this. I think we just need to hit a land that's actually a land. It's more important. Okay. Right, so not so good. Definitely not so good for us. Plus it's the Magus, so this might doesn't help us at the moment. But, you know. It's lovely that I missed the recording of the first game, which was me completely demolishing them. Now I'm getting ripped apart. Definitely don't usually want to draw the saga. Oof. Well, this is pretty bad. Jeez, what do you even lead on here? Could needle EE. Or I can lead on this might. Probably just want to go with the might. Obviously no use playing the saga into this. And they're pretty low on cards, but they have the double black for Dothy, which is really what I don't want to see here. Oh, well, backup Blood Moon. Probably not getting under that anytime soon. Might as well get in with the Haywire Might. I'm not blocking at the moment. What would be really devastating for us? I don't know. I'm just gonna needle it now. Definitely have nothing else to do. If we hit a third land, we can buy Yagantha, which can help us get out from under this Blood Moon. So I'm really hoping for second basic swamp is best case scenario. But any land, nope, didn't hit it. They could have Orcish Bowmasters. I don't really want to put my Haywire Might into that. So I'm just going to pass here. You can see the polarizing hands in this matchup. It can really just be keep the wrong kind of hand. Filigree, Silex, dang. Alright, well now I know they have that in their sideboard, which might mean they're running Filigree, Silex, Ratchet Bomb split. Okay, well now I don't need to worry about the Bowmasters, but they're definitely ticking up to 1. Okay, well that's cool. I can get in with Might, and in response to popping the Silex, maybe I can Dispute and then hit the Blood Moon. Might want to hit a land here. I think the land is going to be more important, so we're going to do this now. I'm going to set up to start getting Oval Chase in play for blocking. Ooh! Is this worth giving up green mana? I can cast Asmo next turn through Blood Moon, so I'm going to say it is. Then I can take the Magus off the board. They haven't shown removal yet, so... Oh, see, this is what I get for talking through all my plays. I just play into the Silex with my cookbook, so... Oof! Voidwalker, well, I can at least get one food here, but I'm gonna have to kill a Voidwalker first. And they're probably gonna just blow up the cookbook now, I'd imagine. I don't know why you'd wait. Yep. So smart. Not sure we can pull our way out of this one, but that's okay. Game one, so we'll see what happens. Alright, third land, what can I do here? Buy Yagantha, pretty much. I can take 5. I mean, we're not dead yet, but we're not in a great position. Fourth land means Oval Chase, although blocking with the Voidwalker in play is really bad. Really just want to draw a Blood Fountain cookbook. We're down we're down 2 cookbooks. I forgot they discarded the first one, so running low on good draws here. It's unfortunate, but that's Magic. I'll probably just keep this up so I can remember what the Dothy has now. Them having the Haywire Might is super frustrating here, although until they hit a Ragavan, it's like a Fury? Interesting to put that out here. So they're just trying to pressure me. 5 puts me to 7, 2. So if I can chump block the Fury next turn, I'm fine. If I don't have a blocker, it's game over. They got lethal. So If I hit a land, we can play the Daredevil, otherwise... Oh, that'll do, I guess. Might pass. Can always crack food. It's unfortunate I have to block here to survive, but even if I go to 10, it's 11. So, you got removal. Okay. Alright. Well, now I know they have the filigree silex, so the pithing needle can name the correct thing. Sometimes I bring in the Soul Guide Lantern to have an extra turn 1 stop you from double griefing me when I'm on the play, but I think for the most part this is fine, so I'm going to run it back. The main reason for cutting 4 geese, or the main reason for keeping all the geese in the sideboard is for chump blocking Ragavan, and also, you know, Fury and giving you the second blocker so that your constructs can take a grief off the board. Alright. Okay, we got the turn 1 spell bomb, so we can cut them off the double grief. There's not really much else going on in this hand. No cookbook, no discard outlet. It's kind of iffy. I mean, I guess Boseiju is a discard outlet, but not till turn 3. No removal. I think I got a mulligan this. It's bad against a lot of their hands. Okay, we can keep this. Deadly Dispute turn 2. We got the Steel Seeker, so I think here we keep... I don't think I need 2 geese. I'd like to keep the Boseiju and the 3rd land for the Saga. Let's just go... Let's get the Goose in play, and then we can either Steel Seeker or Dispute next turn, depending on how it's looking. Alright, well they spend their push on that. That's really interesting. Yeah, I'll just hold up Deadly Dispute. I would have to hit Oval Chase Cookbook for me to really be interested in, you know, and that's not very likely. Otherwise, you know, if I had one of the two. Alright, well, we'll just fire this off. Would rather have the card advantage. Ah, dang. Well, they'll take the Cookbook, but, you know, better to have the card in this matchup. Oh! They have a second Thoughtseize? Because why else would you do that? Maybe they have an EE or something, I don't know. But this seems kind of fishy. Yeah, or Inquisition. You would lead on Inquisition, though. Okay, second Thoughtseize. Alright. Well, they've officially ripped my hand apart, but I get a Construct this turn, so that's pretty great. Alright, Blooming Marsh. Go. I can handle Blood Moon this turn if I have to, but then I lose out on the Construct. Alright, no Blood Moon. Alright. It could be holding up like a K command or just removal. It doesn't really matter. Ooh, One Ring. It's gotta just be the One Ring. It's so good against them. They won't be able to hit discard on me next turn. Now, they should probably respond here, otherwise I could needle their Delta, which is really mean. But I feel like I just have to get a Cookbook now. I'd rather save the needle. And they don't have anything else in play that would make me want to get any of these other things. Alright, yeah, alright, it's just second Saga. Let's get some protection from everything. Alright. And I don't think I can just draw on that. I'd rather play around discard effects. Now they could Bowmasters, but that's 3 damage total because I'm not drawing unless it's in response, so I can get in easily. Now we got Boseiju to handle a Blood Moon or a Silex, so I think this hand is looking pretty good. Nile Spellbomb, okay, don't care about that. Really don't care about that. Oh, and looks like they just need the card. That bodes pretty well for me. I might want to I probably should have drawn the card in response before they had the second mana for Bowmasters, so I'll do that now. Oh, look at that! Because they can't Thoughtseize me, so you know I forgot about that. Don't need to play around. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm generating Oval Chase value. I got another Saga, and they don't have a Blood Moon. Get another 2 cards this turn. This is a beautiful... Oh, now I can get a basic. Alright, well, let's draw 2 first, see what we get. Ooh, Needle. Okay. Silex or EE? I don't know. I don't know which one they would play more of. Silex is not immediate to kill the cookbooks, so I think here, you know, we can technically get Boseiju to deal with a Filigree Silex, so we're going to Needle Explosives. 3 cards in hand, we're making a construct, and this construct's going to be big. So Bolt, it's already out of Bolt range, they got to have Push or another Terminate. Now, it would be pretty bad if they had Hidetsugu that consumes all. Oh, and the concession. Yeah, the One Ring. Perfect showing of the One Ring. You missed the one for match 1, but really just an incredible card versus Rakdos. Oh, another die roll win. Love to see it. Okay, is this keepable? This is kind of gross. No turn 1 play, 2 manufactors. I could turn 1 Saga into land. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know what I'm playing against. I'll keep. We'll try it. Rushing out the cookbook, and this is another good example of when I think turn 1 Saga is appropriate. Alright, opponent mulligans. Like, Construct's good, but I think I would rather have... would I rather have that? Maybe it is just better to leave it for the Construct. I convinced myself otherwise. Could be wrong, but, you know. Could be creativity, 4 color. This gets the Construct up, but it's still not going to be out of Bolt range, so I think this is just easy Sarenth Steelseeker. You know, if they want to run out of Bolt. Alright, Jetmir's Garden. Because it could be Zoo. Okay, they got the Bolt. Glad they're spending it not on the Construct though, unless they have another Bolt. I could run out of Manufacture, so I have double Manufacture next turn, but I think, not really knowing what the deck I'm up against yet, I think I'd rather have the Construct. Because I don't know what kind of interaction I'm getting. Alright, Triumph. Alright, they're both mountains, which to me suggests probably creativity, but the amount of 5-color decks out there, you really don't always know. Okay. Now this is solidifying me more on creativity. So gotta be a little bit worried about creativity next turn. I think here we gotta get the Manufacture down, because I want to get value out of the Goose. So we can just do this. Don't really need the Grave at the moment. So double green it is. And here's a perfect example of where, even though they don't have any mana up, you play the Goose first, then you're definitely going to get a food out of it, because you also have the cookbook up. Oh, got an UG from my opponent. Sorry, opponent. Well, UG with a smiley face. We'll take that. We can crack a clue on their end step if we need to. Easy discard oval chase, sack, gilded goose, I think. Don't have a time sieve. If we had a time sieve, I would just probably sack the construct to keep as many combo pieces in play. Alright, they discarded Steam Vents and Bloodstain Mire. They're at 7, so they kind of got a hit. I should have blocked. I'm just clicking too fast. That's okay. Alright, do you have it? It's really unfortunate if they have it here, because they're going to get it for 2. But they're going to go to 12. Yeah. Well, my opponent ugging and then double Archon. Like, okay, alright. They have to block the construct, right? And I can replay a manufactor, or I keep the manufactor and then I can make a bunch more stuff. It's tough. No, they're going to 12. I guess they don't have to block. But I can grow the construct. I think... Dang. It's tough. I keep manufacture if I want to go for combo line, and I keep construct token otherwise. I think we have to be able to get one of these off the board, so I think we have to do this. Pitch the land. Alright. Now, we don't have any untapped lands, so we don't need to crack the clue end step. We can just wait, see what happens. I do need to force a chump block, so that's a bad draw. But we do get the oval chase back. So let's get this construct to 12, so that they have to chump. Could get it bigger if we play the Blood Fountain. I'm not sure. That's probably worth it. Make it a 13, then they can't kill the construct. Although I'm going to have to sack. No, they got a chump block. Alright. Let's try this. Okay. Alright, we got the nice 13-13. You got a chump block. Okay. And I can take a hit from the Archon. I might want to crack a food, so I shouldn't cash in this treasure right now. Alright. Alright, good thing this can't activate the turn it comes into play. This card would be even more busted than it already is. Creativity is definitely a hard matchup. I'm not super great at playing this matchup in general. So bolt the manufacturer. Dang. Alright. So now I'm taking 3. Wow, they could have just waited. I couldn't have blocked. That was a silly line. Which means they either miss lethal or they have another removal spell here. I should probably be safe and crack the food. Play around another bolt. You do get to see the niceness of oval chase though in this matchup. It is one upside, since you get to discard it to these triggers. Time Sieve. Oh, Time Sieve doesn't even do it because we don't have the blue and we don't have a treasure, so it's unfortunate. If we don't draw something though, it's game over. So all right, they're not holding up any removal, which at least bodes well for us. Sarenth. I don't think so. This is the least mana intensive, so I think we should do Blood Token instead of cracking a clue. So let's do that. Time Sieve. Oh no, I can't play you. Dang. So I can crack another clue, but even a land doesn't do it, so yeah, we're just gonna call it quits. Concede. Oh well. Wish I had played the Watery Grave. Alright, creativity matchup. We want the Bone Shards for Renin 6. Pithing Needle for Renin 6. Renin 6 is just so powerful in this matchup. Grab our Egos for Indomitable Creativity. And then they usually have, we saw the white, so they probably have Leyline Binding. So I usually like to bring in some number of Haywire Mites. Nothing else that's really, really important against them. And they don't have a lot of enchantments, so I think 2 Mites is appropriate. The Ring is also pretty good against them. Here's where Goose is not as important. So we're going to cut some Geese. It's good for getting a turn 2 on Mordigo, but we don't need a turn 2 on Mordigo in this matchup. So I'm just going to trim all the Geese, trim a Fountain. The combo can win us the game in this matchup, so I think I want to trim on as little of that as possible. So let's cut a Sarenth, cut an Unearth. Asmo can be pretty strong, so let's do this. No colored mana sources on the play is just, it's really tricky. Ugh. Gross. No lands. Alright, I guess we gotta keep this. Keep on 5. This is disgusting. Probably no discard outlet. We do have the Saga. I think I want to keep... I just want to get to the 1 ring. So I think we just bottom like this. Call it a day. And guess we can lead on Delta. Might want to get the early Watery Grave this time. Alright, game 2 versus creativity. Not looking so hot. Alright, Unearth. Might just want to cycle at this turn. Let's do that. I don't want to do the Saga yet because I want to be able to ring. I want to be able to ring and not waste a construct activation if I can help it. So Saga as my 4th land would be perfect if we can hit a 3rd one here. Do they have the Renin 6? No, they have the Renin 6. So this is gonna be tough to beat this hand. Oh no, well, love clicking the button. No extra land. Cycle it now and be sad. We can still get the ring down on the turn they would want a creativity, so hopefully they don't leave up mana for Spell Pierce here. That's what I'm hoping. No Spell Pierce, please. Looks like maybe a Fable. Teferi. Okay. Good thing we didn't play Saga. Oh, they get to bounce it. The bouncing ring is not great for them. All right, this time I won't click through my end step. And we want double green into ring. And since they have leyline binding, we're just going to draw our card now. They don't have really discard effects. So, protection. Do they play force? I didn't think so. Alright. Hopefully this can give us a chance. Again, they can bounce it, but then I get to replay it. They'll probably bounce Saga with the Teferi, I would imagine. Going to just yield. Well, find out what happens. Oh, they return no cards to their hand with Renin 6's ability. That seems weird. Okay. I see, yeah, they didn't want to bounce it. Okay. We could draw, but they might have removal in response. We still get a card since it already has a 1 counter on it. I think I want to try to hit an untapped land. I'm just going to go for it. You get the leyline binding, I get 1 less card. Okay. They don't have it. But I can't put any of these 2-drops into play. So we're just going to go this pass. If they want to remove the 1 ring, I can sack it in response with a Deadly Dispute and have the treasure up for making a construct. Although, now I don't have protection, so we're going to be losing some cards if they're going for double Archon this turn. Instant Speed Transmogrify. Very interesting. That's unfortunate. I'm not dead, but this is tough. Discard the Oval Chase. Free card! Everybody loves a free card. Alright, taking 9, going to 5. So even with Bolt, the Renin 6 ping doesn't kill me. Teferi on 6 is frustrating now. Just kind of got to see what happens. With so many cards in their hand, it's like, what do you do against creativity? This deck is not super great against creativity. So here, I just want this to resolve. I don't want to have to sack my construct. Got multiple Sarens, so... And we want to wait for the end step. I don't want Teferi to be able to balance my construct. Alright, they're just ticking up. This is weird. Alright, so if they don't remove the Saga, which I think they should have done, I can get a cookbook and theoretically get a removal spell up for Archon. 10 cards in their hand. Going to discard this turn. Okay. Should I like to leave the blue mana up just to like fake some kind of counter magic? Alright. Going to clean up 2 lands. Alright, lose 2, go to 3. Now I'm in bolt range. This tells me they do not have the bolt. Do I want to construct or do I want to go for something else? I really want to draw cards. I think I want to dispute this turn. Although, maybe we should draw. I'm going to draw with this on the stack. That way I can make the best decision about whether or not to make a construct. Now that we've already lost our life. Alright, so this makes me think they probably got a removal. I don't know why else you would fetch now, but... Oh, instant speed, jeez. Alright, so this is gonna... I'm just dead. They get 2 triggers, Dreamer for 6, even with 1 food, I can't do it. And I can't cast Deadly Dispute right now. Alright. GG's. Okay. Alright, go in second. This is an okay hand. I mean, the Saga plus the Blood Fountain with the Oval Chase means we can get a card out of the Oval Chase. Nothing much else going on. Opponent keeps at 7. Most of the time with this deck, I just say keep. It is 4 lands, though. We could find some more action, but I think I'll just keep. Could draw into something nice. If it's a fast deck, you know, this is bad, but possibly is it. Tells me they don't have a Dragon's Rage Channeler if it is. Alright, pretty easy lead on Blood Fountain. If they have the Pierce, it's whatever. I don't think you would Pierce Blood Fountain. Alright. If they bobble me here, bobble themselves, okay. Do they like the card? They do not. Okay. It's good to know. Alright, this might be Shadow. Maybe Grixis? We'll see. Oh, oh. Sultai. Tarmogoyf. Whew. Scary. Well, I think it's pretty easy. I'll just run the blood token, do the Oval Chase. Okay, nothing else to do. Constructs will be great against them, so hopefully this Saga can stick around. Oh, I guess I should have done it on their turn to not grow the Tarmogoyf if I wasn't thinking about that. Look, you can learn from my stream. You can learn, well, not a stream. You can learn from my recordings. Learn what not to do. Here's where you want to, well, partially to not lose life, but play the Swamp out, and then you have whatever untapped mana you want if you're making the constructs. I don't really want to block here, so we'll be going to at least 11. Oh, I can get the creature back out of the bin, so I will make the construct in combat. If they have removal for the construct, they're going to have it anyway, but this will prevent 2 damage. Which I should have thought about last turn, but better late than never. This could be the Sultai Shadow list. Okay, well, they got instant, so guess it didn't make a difference, but now the question is if I want to leave up, if I want to do Manufacture, or I think because I have the Goose now, I think I'd like to go for Manufacture, although the Construct is probably going to be really important. Goose is a good chump blocker for these Tarmogoyfs, though. It's probably just Construct. I can build the Manufacture next turn. Cookbook. Alright, so we got a 3/3. I can make it a 4/4, but these are 4/5s now. Go to 9, make it a 5/5. I think we will do this. We lose the trigger, but that's okay. Depending on what they do next turn, I may even discard a Manufacture instead of the Oval Chase, so that I can double Manufacture in 1 turn. I can also chump block with the Gilded Goose, turn it on for Unearth. Alright, they have a Dismember. Well, not chump blocking with you. Interesting to dismember the Goose there. I guess they're 5/6s. I can't take 10. Unfortunately, so I got a chump block here. Take 5, go to 4. 5/5 damage doesn't matter unless they somehow shrink. I think I will discard a Manufacture. Double Manufacture could put me way ahead in this game. Okay, no lands, so they got 4 spells. That doesn't bode well for trying to resolve my spells, but could also go Sarenth, Unearth, Academy Manufactor. Might be more lucrative. And I can dig for some cards. I think this is slightly better because it looks like they're holding up removal. So we're gonna go for it this way. You can either kill the Sarenth or they can. Oh well, never mind. Now I got 1 chump blocker and they got, and I can't crack a clue. So that one's done. Alright. Shadow. Definitely want removal for their threats. I'd imagine they would have engineered explosives since it's a 3-colored deck, so we'll bring in the Pithing Needle. Kind of want a Nile Spellbomb because of the Tarmogoyfs. Definitely want some Mites to handle whatever graveyard hate they bring in, but I don't think it'll be extensive, so just 2. Do I want a Nile Spellbomb? It's tough because it's bad against, it's not, it's useless against Shadow. I think for now we'll just try this. I'll see what happens. Again, this is going to be a Thoughtseize matchup, so I want to take out some of the synergistic pieces. I think Goose is good for chump blocking, and Unearth is pretty great against the discard. I think we can cut 1 Goose, and I'll cut 1 Steel Seeker. Asmo hand would be much more appreciated in this matchup. Oh, but no colored mana. That's cool. That's great. Really just don't want to keep these hands, even though the rest of this is so good. But, I want to be able to cast my spells. Alright, this is fine. There's no real Sieve synergistic pieces, so I'll keep this, bottom the Sieve. Go from there. My opponent is thinking. I always wonder in these situations if they're actually really thinking about their hand or if it's like a perfect 7 and they're just fucking with you. Well, we won't know until my opponent decides to keep or not. Pretty sure this is the Sultai list that runs that battle card, but we didn't see any of those pieces, so it's hard to know. There's so many decks in the broad meta right now. All right, keep bottom Civ. All right, gonna lead on the Tomb. Want to be able to cast Sarenth next turn. And we want to definitely evade discard on the cookbook. We're now out there, even though I'm not going to discard anything this turn. Looks like a Thoughtseize. I'd imagine they take Asmo. I could see either option. Okay. This matchup, I definitely want to preserve. Oh, great draw. I want to preserve my life total, so I'd like to get it basic. And now we can just get value out of the Sarenth. Whew, nice. Got a card out of it. They probably have removal, but always nice to get something out of the Sarenth before it hits the bin. Boseiju can handle something. But I don't think they have many powerful enchantments or lands against me in this matchup, so I'm envisioning that we'll maybe just hit some kind of artifact hate piece if they have one, but so we're definitely low on cards. This is going to be a bit of a grind, but if they don't get Graveyard Hate, recurring Oval Chase could become this match's game plan. Alright, there's the push. They're back up to 5 cards. Ooh, Saga, that's great. Yeah, here we definitely just want to play Saga, buy Yagantha, pass the turn. Constructs are going to be great in this matchup. Tarmogoyf would be sorcery, instant, artifact, land, creature. Tarmogoyf's a 5/6 right now, so I really hope they don't just run out a couple Tarmogoyfs here. Thoughtseize me. Do the Oval Chase now. Taking it is annoying. They're just going to take Yagantha though. So they might have a shadow. They can't double shadow, but they can shadow plus... Oh, there's a Tarmogoyf. 5/6. Alright. My construct is going to be 1, 2... It's going to be 5. Ooh, I can't take a turn, but I can take a turn next turn. I don't need the extra mana. So hopefully they just don't have another Thoughtseize. So I'll just leave the Verdant up, get a tapped Watery Grave. So Construct is just going to be a 5/5, so I'm not blocking, but I got a pretty high life total. Next turn, if they don't get rid of the Saga, I can take a turn. So that's going to be really powerful. Although they probably have a Stubborn Denial. Oh, okay, they were doing math. Alright, what do you got? They could, if it is the battle, they could just battle here. Okay. A 7/7. That's fine. Alright, they could have Drown, Stubborn Denial. And this is where, in case they have instant speed artifact, or in case they have instant speed Graveyard Hate, you do the Oval Chase first, and then you can always activate Saga in response to get another trigger to get it back to your hand. Alright, let's go get ourselves the Watery Grave that we talked about. Make our construct. Alright. Now, unfortunately, unless we draw another black source, I can't actually make a construct plus time sieve, and I think I just have to time sieve here. So, unfortunately, not making a construct here. But that's okay. Now, should we... I think we just want to stack up the cookbooks. I'm assuming they have a Stubborn Denial. They don't Stubborn Denial. If they have a Drown, they might just want to drown the construct. So I think I'm going to go to combat first. Get in, and then time sieve second main. Dress down. Yeah, that was fine. Still get to time sieve. And I'm going to play the Boseiju because this dress down's about to go away. I don't think they have anything else super impactful in the artifact enchantment category. Okay. Get an extra draw. Take Tarmogoyf 0-1 for, you know, that brief second. Unearth. Ooh. So nice. Let's get back Asmo. Well, they're not going to have anything. We'll get back Asmo. Get the 4th cookbook. We can take a turn, and then next turn have 2 pieces of removal up. Alright, I'll put the yield on. Unfortunately, the Tarmogoyf being the 6/7, just shy of one removal spell. But this is huge. This definitely pulls us pretty ahead. Threat plus removal on one of theirs. Right, Blooming Marsh, nothing to write home about. Alright, play the Marsh. I could pressure their life total. I could kill the Shadow and get in with Asmo, but I'm only at 11. Might just want to hold it back in case we need to block. Tarmogoyf is smaller. I guess if they blocked with Shadow Immortality, I could kill it with one removal spell, but I don't think that's worth it. I could also put my Oval Chase into play as another blocker. They're definitely going to attack with stuff. And if not, I can kill it with my Asmo. So I think this is correct. And then just hold everything up. See what happens. Trying to play calm, cool, and collected. Alright, 2 cards in hand. What you got? Dothy. Okay. Just kill Dothy. So, chump block, Shadow of Mortality. I can take 6. Jump here, say okay. Kill Shadow. I'm sorry, kill Dothy. That way Oval Chase stays in the bin. Take 6, go to 5. Oh, guess we'll see what they got. Dismember the Asmo. Okay, and now with this, since they're dismembering here, we'll hit the Shadow and then the Oval Chase block will kill it. So Asmo will get exiled, but I think that's not the worst. Take 6, go to 5, get a threat off the table. Alright. Another Oval Chase. This is perfect. Now we can discard, get them both back. Yes. Okay. Although here's actually a situation where I probably just want to hold up the food activation, because if they have removal, I'm just dead. I don't have the extra mana to expend, and I don't want to crack and get rid of a cookbook, so just gonna pass. I can even crack 2 foods. And then next turn we can take a turn. Don't play Bolt or any other, stuff like that, so I think this is a pretty safe play here. Alright, they got the Shadow. They're at 5. Do I want the extra food? I should probably pad my life total. I can still take a turn next turn. I think this is more important. Alright. Oh! Woo! What a draw. Couldn't even have drawn on Earth for that. And here's where we can put the Asmo in play and the Oval Chase, and then take a turn. Don't need to search, we got all 4 in play. And this is the one niceness of having 2 Oval Chases, where you can actually put one on the board and continue to have your engine online. Okay, now if we hit Manufacture, we're just they're just done. Oh, Sarenth, such a good draw. Alright. Now we got removal spell up, plus a one ring is hard to say no to, but I think I'd rather dig for something that will just immediately win me the game next turn. Be nice to hit a land too, especially a Saga. I think we're going to be good this game, and then we'll probably have to go to a match, a game 3. Dispute is 2 looks, so guess I'll leave that on top. We can crack 2 foods if we want, or I guess we can just take the extra turn. That's gotta be better. Okay, let's draw the Deadly Dispute, and now we can dig with the cookbooks and look for something to draw with the dispute. So I think I want to just crack now, get as many lands out of my deck so I can hit some juice off of Sarenth's Steelseeker. Saga, alright. I don't think my opponent will concede, I don't know. Oh, they have 0 cards in hand. Goofy. I'm just playing around nothing. Forgot to check. Haha! Oh well, sometimes you play an extra turn with this deck, but my clock's okay, so... And that is why you try to pay attention to information. Alright. I think we just keep the sideboard the same. I didn't really see a problem with that. Yeah. Let's just run it back. Alright, match 3 is Sultai Shadow. You don't play against this archetype too much. Even with the new build with the battle, there's just not many players of this deck. Alright, let's be wary of a turn 1 Thoughtseize. They didn't seem to have any direct Saga destruction. This could be a pretty powerful hand. You can't stop me from getting a Sarenth's Steelseeker in play, double Saga. It's a weird hand, but I think I'm just going to keep. They're a powerful deck, but they're not the fastest without having like Ragavan and Dragon Raid's Channeler. So, alright, did they bubble me? No, they bubbled themselves. Okay, they didn't like their top card. It's always good. Okay. I want to turn to Steelseeker, but now I have the Verdant Catacombs, so just get a tapped Overgrown Tomb. Easy peasy. I don't think this deck would play Shadow of Doubt. That would be scary. If they do play Shadow of Doubt, I guess I'll play around it. Oh, I did not want that. Oops. Clicked the wrong land. Love to see it. So no turn 2 Steelseeker for me, because I'm a... Oh, Voidwalker. I think this... Oh, nice. They do have... This is going to be really annoying to deal with. So I would rather do this before they have the Stubborn Denial up. And it doesn't get exiled. Woo! Destroy, not damage. Okay. Oh, they do have the Saga Destruction. Alright. This makes me want to slow a little bit and get one of these Steel Seekers in play. So let's do that. We can run him through some removal pieces before we put the Saga back in play. Push. Push for push. Okay. So, what you got? Could be a battle this turn. Wow, okay. They really don't have much going on. This is definitely a case for Sarenth. Try for the Blood Fountain. If I miss the triggers and they have removal, it's fine. They could have Stubborn Denial for the Blood Fountain too, but I think this is just what I want to do this turn. Yep. But probably would rather see them counter that than the Time Sieve, maybe. But hopefully they don't have another Spreading Seas. That's what I'm really hoping. If not, the next turn can be Construct turn. Alright, they got 3 spells. Alright, I definitely want double green for future turns, so we're just going to go ahead with the Blooming Marsh, and we get some Constructs in play. I mean, they die to every removal piece my opponent has since we saw the Dismember, and this is not a 6/6. Alright, Tarmogoyf. Alright, we gotta try to get our Constructs in block and kill range as quick as possible. Now, we did see Dress Down, so I could walk into a Dress Down here, but it's just, oof. One ring. I'd rather expose the one ring on a turn where maybe they don't have the, Stubborn Denial. Okay, I don't think Needle's worth it. Just get the cookbook. Here, I'm at a high life total. I could Sieve or I could Steel Seeker. Sieve ekes out the Stubborn Denial and grows the Constructs. So I think I'd rather go like this. If they waste their Stubborn Denial on this, I can maybe resolve the one ring next turn. Okay. So hopefully they don't have 2 Stubborn Denials. Now I could double block here and discard a card if they were able to grow their Tarmogoyf, but I don't really want to lose both Constructs. Well, I can take 5. We'll take the hit. I don't want to give up Steel Seeker or the One Ring at the moment. If I top deck Daredevil, I could see going for Sarenth over the One Ring. Okay. I think this is a better play. I really don't want to... I'm still good on life total, and I really don't want to walk into Dress Down. Kills the Constructs. Okay. This means end step. I'll wait till end step, and then I can get the Oval Chase activation before they draw a card. Right, end step. Let the Dress Down sack. Discard Oval Chase. Do you have another piece of removal? Oh my goodness. Removal. I guess I should have done it in their upkeep. Alright, so I can crack a food. It's probably worth it given my life total and their threat. So I think end step, I'll crack the food. Still just looks like they're top decking spell after spell. So I'm pretty scared of another Stubborn Denial. Oh, second Goyf. So cracking this food doesn't even necessarily turn down the clock, but I think I have to. Next turn I can crack a food instead of casting the One Ring, if I want to play around stub/drown. But they just get an extra look next turn, so I think it's the same thing. Go for the one ring. Please don't have the stubborn denial. Or the drown in the lock. Ugh! Ugh! Alright, well, we're dead. Alright. Lose 1-2 against Shadow. We're playing against all the dang mid-range decks today. Plus creativity. Alright, on the draw again. It's an okay hand. Having both rings could be awkward against certain decks. Let's see what my opponent does. No black mana is a problem, so this might just be a mulligan. Because Deadly Dispute is nice, but if I don't draw a black source, it's nothing. So I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, got the turn 2 Dispute and Saga with the Goose. So here we can keep and just be flexible. I'll bottom the Verdant and keep the Boseiju in case we want to Boseiju something. Could be Hammer. Oh, looks like it might be Scam. Hopefully they don't have Grief Feign Death. Oh, Fury Feign Death. This is definitely one of those funny situations where they're just putting a big threat in play, but I can just chump block it. They pitch. And they pitch to terminate. So the Goose plus Unearth here will just, you know, let me survive a couple extra turns. And okay. Because of this, I'm thinking about playing the Boseiju to have as little life wasted, but no, I want to be able to Saga next turn plus Deadly Dispute, so we will go like this. Hopefully they don't have more removal, so we can block. But next turn, regardless, we can Dispute, sack food, Unearth Goose, put forth another blocker. They got the removal, so I mean, we're still technically alive if we can't block next turn, but we'll go to 1, and that's just, you know, that's really quite bad. So yeah, Saga, like I said, Saga, Dispute, and then let's hit that Goose. Now the ring can be really good against them. I really hope I can block this turn. If so, next turn we can get a Construct in play, theoretically chump block. Okay, that tells me they probably don't have removal or they have a Terminate. Ooh, we get to block. Now, theoretically, I could go to 1, you know, and then I could cast the 1 ring next turn, but I really don't want to do that. I don't want to go to 8 either, so I guess I got to go to 8 eventually. We're going to chump block no matter what. Let's play this, then I have the best mana up as possible for the next turn in case we are presented with an opportunity for Manufactor plus Watery Grave. Oof. This is tough. Well, this could just be game. Because now they get to attack with everything. Put me to 6. Removal spell. I mean, everything kills the Construct right now, unfortunately. Thought sees me? Dang. Yeah, they're just going to get to take the ring. So now we're probably just losing this game. Unfortunate, but you know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Do you have the removal? Go to 6. No ring. And we still have a chump blocker with the Saga activation. We have Unearth. Unearth on Goose. That's pretty sweet. And we could put the Manufactor out there. Get a... which is better? Might want 2 blockers. If I get the... Well, Manufactor can block Bowmasters, so... I think this is the line here. I want to generate some value this turn. No Urborg, unfortunately, so I gotta fetch, but we're just gonna get a basic. I'm not pushing myself into bolt range. Now we can go Manufactor, and again we get an opportunity where we do the sorcery speed first. Target the Goose. And then get the Manufactor. I'm sorry, get the Oval Chase. In the bin, get it back. Okay, now we can chump block. They probably can't get in with the Bowmasters. If they just attack with the army token, I don't think I'm gonna block it because the another Bowmasters could be, you know, kill my Manufactor, and Manufactor is what's holding my entire board state together right now. So if they have land, I mean, they could have land Bowmaster's Bolt, and then I die no matter what. But I don't think I'm gonna play around in exact 3 cards. So we'll see what happens. If they attack with Bowmasters, that's really suspicious. Just like play Heat. It's possible they just want to get me in bolt range, but I can crack a food, so if they have Bowmasters, 1, 2, 3, 4, they put me to 1. I'm not putting the Manufactor in danger at the moment. I might be forced to next turn, but for now I just want to do this. If I can hit an Asmo, it might be game over for them. Even the ring here is tricky with the Bowmasters. Won't really be able to activate it. The protection is super important, but yeah, I'm really just hoping for an Asmo. Alright, I'm in bolt range, so I can't crack the food end step, but that's okay. Deadly Dispute, alright. Probably want to lead on the Dispute first. We're not going to be cracking more than 2 clues, so sack the clue, leave as many... Oh, I forgot about Bowmaster triggers. Well, you know, this is the reality of playing with a new card that I'm not used to. So we go to 1. Lovely. Okay. We got plenty of mana with the treasure tokens, thankfully. This tells me they probably don't have any removal, though. So, do this. Get the Asmo in play. We're going to have 6 foods total if we can get the second cookbook down. And we can kill their Fury. But we're going to wait till next turn. I don't want to... If they have a Feign Death, I need them to not be able to also attack with Fury next turn. So get all these activations in. Very cool. We need to be able to possibly crack a food token though, so let's play this tapped, obviously. Leave all our blockers and just pass the turn. I'm okay if they draw Feign Death, you know, but you have to do it on their turn. In fact, I think I'm going to set an upkeep stop in case they're drawing Feign Death. Anyway, play around the top decked one, but no matter what, they can't attack with Fury this turn, and I can always double shoot the Fury. Now, Bowmasters, I have to leave up a food for Bowmasters or Bolt. So I can't use all of these removal spells right now. Please don't have the Feign Death. I just need to feign 1 Feign Death. This is another reason to maybe not shoot the bowmasters. Now, if they have bowmasters in hand and they just go to combat and attack with everything, I have to respond. Well, I guess I'll respond to the Feign Death. I can shoot the orc army. Wow, they really, I mean, if you have the Feign Death, you play it, so I don't know what they're doing here. You have the Feign Death, you reanimate it, kill the Asmo, and then it forces me to respond with a removal spell, and then I have to chump block. Oh, I guess I don't have... No, I do... Well, I'll lose the Manufactor because it can deal its additional damage. Well, I guess I won't lose it, but... Gotta kill that army. Maybe my opponent's just frustrated that I somehow pulled out of this position. Hard to know. Well, impossible to know. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Get the land. So if they attack with bowmasters, I'm going to assume that they drew a Feign Death. They don't, so we can just shoot this down and we still have a food activation left in response to anything. Can't Feign Death a token, so... And now I just got to remember to not crack a clue. Ever. If we can just untap, we can just crack multiple foods in response to whatever stuff they want to do. So, Blood Moon doesn't do anything here. All right, there we go. All right, now I think you saw. I'll still go through what I do for sideboarding here since we missed Rakdos matchup recording for my game one. Bring in removal for their threats. I like to bring in Needle for EE, or the last matchup we ended up seeing Filigree, Silex, Ratchet Bomb. Bring in a Nihil Spell Bomb to try to stop them from Feign Deathing something really important. And then I like to bring in a couple Haywire Mites to deal with Blood Moon, etc. Blood Moon and Co. Cut some of the synergistic pieces because it's a Thoughtseize deck. Leave the Geese for blocking Ragavans, and just trim on everything else. Well, maybe I should leave the disputes. I could see cutting the second fountain. Fountain's kind of unimpactful. Let's go with that over what I did last time, which was cutting a dispute. I think coming back in card advantage, obviously, against a Thoughtseize deck. Super important. Alright, game two. Kind of a meh hand. No discard outlet for the Asmo. If they have turn 1 Grief, Feign Death, they probably take Goose, Deadly Dispute, and my hand is literally nothing. Let's see if they keep on 7. Alright, they keep. It's tough. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. It's just a weird hand. Alright, this is definitely better. Again, if they have the Thoughtseize, it's bad because, you know, they're gonna take all these pieces. But here, Pithing Needle, not immediately important. Take out this. Upkeep, stop. Police don't have the grief. I just want to get down my Underworld cookbook. And they have the grief. And this is what it's like playing against Rakdos Scam. So, imagine here they just take Asmo cookbook. pretty easy takes. If they don't take the cookbook, I'm going to be the most confused person. Okay, great. Nice to have the catacombs, although I do want to have green mana. Don't want to play into a blood moon, but I think you still play the goose here. Alright, what did they pitch? They pitched a Dothy, which either means they have a backup Dothy or they just valued this grief really highly against me. Hard to know. Could have a Blood Moon coming next turn. Dashed Ragavan. Here's definitely a situation where I just want to chump. This is what Gilded Goose is in here for. Alright. Now we just gotta hope to hit Cookbook off the top. I will definitely trade the Sarenth with the Ragavan that they have in hand. They got Ragavan, 3 unknowns. I just need to top deck a Cookbook. Or Urza's Saga, and they need to not have a Blood Moon. Bone Shards will do it. Get the Asmo in play, although I would need another land. Also, I guess, doesn't do it if I top deck Bone Shards. But getting the grief off the field would be pretty important. Oh, you can see my cat right over my shoulder. She's probably waiting to be fed. Double Swamp definitely worries me. Okay, well, I think I just have to take the trade here. I'm going to 7 off the grief. I don't want to go to 5 and not get this off the table. Ew, gross. I mean, it's better on that than the grief maybe, but... Alright, we're dead if we don't have something here. Or we have to crack a food. I guess I gotta crack a food. Yeah, we'll just do it now. Go to 10. Get a basic for the Blood Moon. Or potential Blood Moon. Alright, let's go to 2. The thing this is game 2 and not 3. It's always demoralizing when they have the grief when you're just trying to win your last game against them. Alright, they took a land, that's much obliged. And I'm dead. Alright. Yeah, don't think I really need to change anything. Just run it back. And hope for not another turn 1 grief. Ew. That's a gross hand. Gotta mulligan that. Oh, this is okay. Sagas and Steel Seekers plus the Asmo. I think I can keep here and bottom the extra Steel Seeker and just hope they don't have Blood Moon. Please no turn 1 Ragavan at least. Grief would be okay, but not ideal. Thoughtseize. Okay, that's fine. Probably take Asmo. Maybe take Steel Seeker since it's the playable card. I could see either option here, but they most likely have removal. So if they take Steel Seeker, I'm suspicious that they have no removal in hand. But they kept at... They keep at 7? Yeah, they kept at 7, so... The fact that this deck can have turn 1 Ragavan, turn 1 Thoughtseize, or turn 1 Grief, Undying Malice, Feign Death, or turn 1 Fury is just the breadth of the different plays that they can have that are all just like completely destructive in different ways is just wild. This deck is so strong. Okay. Tells me they probably have removal, but I mean, Steel Seeker eats removal all the time. I just don't want them to have a Blood Moon. Can't do anything about that, though. Cookbook. Kind of makes me want to play the Cookbook, then we can have a way bigger construct and get it out of bolt range, and I think that that's worth it. Start building value. They have a Dothy that's pretty annoying for future turns. Oh look, a Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. Can still make a pretty big construct, and it looks like that's what we're going to be doing. Blood Moon's really bad for us here, but, you know, I don't have any other lands. Don't really want to put the Steel Seeker out there and not make a construct here. Seems like the wrong decision. So I'll pull up the Exile Zone, monitor what Dothy can get back. I mean, if they have Blood Moon, they don't need to be pausing here. So I don't know what's going through their head. Oh, okay. Definitely no Blood Moon. Alright, EE on 0. That's frustrating, but, you know. Probably means we're not spending the second activation with Saga on a construct. It's just not worth it. I guess I can Needle here, though. But we can't... Oh, got the push for the Dothy? That's pretty sweet. Alright, we're definitely just floating mana here. I guess if I push the Dothy, the Saga won't go in exile. But it doesn't really matter. So let's get Pithing Needle, Engineered Explosives. I guess they didn't see the Needle last game, huh? Now I can make a construct, or I can push the Dothy. I think here I would rather, now that I've disabled the Engineered Explosives, I think I would much rather make a construct. Because if you make it before it resolves, they might just crack the EE, but here, you know, they wait and they get punished. Now we just hope for no Thoughtseize. This, you know, this does run into getting rid of my removal for the Dothy, but, you know, this was their plan. They don't have anything else to do. That told me probably no Terminate either. Artifact removal is probably that exile-based card from Lord of the Rings, which is 2 mana, so they would have to have a land drop plus that to be able to crack the explosives. I think that's mostly okay. Fortunately, we can't make another construct off of this because of not hitting our next land drop, but you know, push is such a good draw here, I think, that it's okay. Hope to draw a land next turn, then we won't have to pick between Sarenth or push. Fury, interesting. Well, 8 damage brings the other down to a 4. So I don't think they can kill both here, unless they also have like a bolt. But that's okay. So it'd be 1/3 and then it's a 4/4 with 1 damage. Can't push the Fury is the one problem with push in this matchup, but it has so many other applications I find it to be just fine. So no need to ditch our oval chase here. They'll reanimate. We can't play around a bolt anyway. They'll kill the construct, put 3 damage on the other. Put me to 13 with the Dothy. 2 and 2? Then that's dead, and it's a 4/4 with 2 damage. I mean, if I get to keep my construct, that's great for me. 2 cards in hand. See if one of them's a land. Alright, land. No shock. What a weird game. Please land. No. Yeah, so now we gotta pick, and I mean, Steel Seeker is really only good if you can activate the cookbook, and I don't want to activate the cookbook. Because I want to push the Dothy with that mana. Alright, so we could get a Haywire Might to chump block this Fury. We could get a cookbook to grow our construct even bigger. I think I like the Haywire Might chump block plan. So I'll go with the Haywire Might. 12 damage doesn't put them in, you know, I think I can just get in with 5 here. I'd rather wait till their turn to push the Voidwalker. Although I guess then they get to play a Saga. I don't know. So to stop on their upkeep. Push the Dothy. You can have a Urza Saga if you want. I just don't want you to have Feign Death in response to this on my turn. Now we'll soak up their mana if they do have it. And then we can start growing our construct. Definitely going to chump block the Fury. I don't want to go take that 8 damage. Really hoping for a land next turn. Really hoping for that land. We can get 2 wins against Rakdos in the same league. That's pretty good. Alright, so they do have it. Dang. Well, so now they should really just sack it. It's interesting. Oh, I can at least get the oval chase in while it's dead. So this is a, this is a example of when you can at least get 1 cookbook activation in around the graveyard 8 since it's on the creature. Alright, now I don't have anything else to do. Yield. Unfortunately, they get to keep their Dothy. Poo on you. Alright, well, they're empty-handed. They do get a draw after this, and they get the Saga. I think they chose Saga. Yeah, they chose this one. So they get a land drop no matter what. They're at 8. Since they're at 8, does that mean they can't attack? Well, this will become a 5/5, and then I can make it a 6/6. I guess we'll find out. Then maybe if they attack, I don't block this turn. So maybe they just won't. Because if I could untap with 8 damage with the Haywire Might. If they can't attack, that is so good for me. Oh my goodness. Please land. Oh, Bone Shards? Okay, now I have to decide between... I guess if I hit the Fury here, I have lethal, and they have to have removal in hand. And I think that is worth going for. I don't need the time sieve here, so we'll bin that. Hopefully get your Fury off the board. If their last card is a Feign Death. Alright. I guess I'll wait until declare blockers. And here I don't want to give up the Oval Chase just yet. Hey, look at that. Perfect 8. Alright. Got our second win against Rakdos. Fill that out in my spreadsheet real quick. 2-1 against Rakdos. So far we're 2-2. Nice on the play. Our opponent has a companion too. Let's see what they got. Gigantha. So it could be Tron, it could be Shadow. It's a tricky hand. Some nice pieces, but having no artifacts to come in for Sarenth. We won't have Asmo until turn 3 with the Unearth and nothing to sack for Deadly Dispute. I think it's a mulligan. Alright, much better. Opponent keeps at 7. We'll keep here. I think we just bottom a land. Lead on Cookbook. So probably just bottom the basic. We can always get it with the Verdant if we need to. And Sarenth is here to get us more lands. So hopefully we can hit an Oval Chase. That would be perfect. Alright, could be Murktide. Not a great matchup if it is, but ugh, turn 1 Monkey. Now, this is an unfortunate situation where I probably have to just commit discarding 2 cards, but I'll wait since I get the second Cookbook anyway. Could put Sarenth in play and just dig a little bit, or I have to expend 2 cards to deal with the Ragavan. I really don't want to do that. So here I'd much rather just get the extra look. And here I can if they want to do removal, I'll probably discard an Asmo, and otherwise I'm just gonna block the Ragavan. Would love to get a trade here. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Oh, it can't be Murktide, that's right. I forgot. Alright, you gonna drown the Sarenth? Bolt? Oh, that's right, you can't drown. Alright, bolt the Sarenth. I think I have to just try to hit a land here or find an Oval Chase. I really just need to see cards. Alright, they get the hit. I guess this is kind of poor thinking here, because if it is a good card on top, it's going to get stolen by the Ragavan, so kind of a weird situation here. Unearth. Unfortunate. That would have been a great hit for me. Thankfully it doesn't do anything for them, but okay. Here I think I just want to chump block Ragavan if I can. And if not, I can sack the Goose in response to removal to the Deadly Dispute. So that's a pretty straightforward plan. Kind of blanks a card from them regardless. And it looks like they're going to go Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, so I gotta do this now, but I'll just get rid of a food so I can leave the blocker. Can't let them get the extra pings out of Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. Still no Oval Chase. Alright, put me to 12. Next turn I'm going to at least 10. Probably block Ragavan. You know, I could theoretically block the Bowmasters and just let them get another treasure. If they don't hit a land drop here, okay, they got the land. Ah, dang. Alright, well, if they Thoughtseize here, you just discard Asmo, and then, you know, at least you get the extra food out of the option. Alright, they bobble themselves. See what they want to do. Alright, they crack. It's not a good card, at least, but going down to 12. So we're playing Grixis Shadow. Alright, you're going to Thoughtseize me. I'm going to get rid of the only card you can Thoughtseize. 1 mana. Target player loses 2 life. But it's you. Okay, now this is really tough. I could theoretically buy back Asmo next turn, but then I don't have the discard outlet to cast it. It's really weird here. If I want to, what I want to block, I could take 3. I really just think treasures are so potent for them. I really just don't want them to have the treasure, even if I get a second block out of it. I don't think it's worth it. Now, unfortunately, Deadly Dispute here does not do me much good. This is a horrible matchup. Oh shoot, and it is Deadly Dispute. I think I just have to do it, you know, regardless. It's unfortunate, but I could crack the Delta first. But if I get a Urza's Saga, I'm gonna want to play it. I can still get a second food off of the cookbook activation in case I hit Asmo. Go to 8. And they've got how much power? 1, that's 4, 6. They got 6 power in play. So I'd like to lose as little life as possible, which is why I'm going to do it like this. Get as many triggers before I choose to discard cards. Alright, Unearth on top. But they're going to hit it with Ragavan. If they have removal, they got 4 cards in hand, they're going to have removal. I just want to dig for value here. We're not hitting anything we can play, so I think I want to conserve life total. Keep the land that, dang, just another, sheesh. You really just want to hit lands here. I mean, them getting an Asmo isn't good, but you'd rather have it in the bin, and now I gotta prioritize land drop or food token. I think you just play the land. Hope to block the Ragavan, but, you know, I don't think it's gonna happen. So many shadow decks with Orcish Bowmasters getting printed. Dang, so I could have just left the good ones on top. It's always it's tough when you're in these situations. Alright, go to... Oh, that's right, let's go to 4 because of the Orc army. And now I have to either crack a food next turn. Oh, well, that takes that plan off the table. Yeah. And now I got, you know, I cracked 2 foods, go to 10, and they got 7 fetch land undead. So I gotta leave up all 4 mana. You know, I'll just play it out. I probably should just concede here, but it's just a couple extra seconds of my time. Does this do it? I go to 10, 1, 2, let's be 5, 5, 6, 7, that's 10. In fact, it was 11. Alright, removal. Their Death Shadow deck definitely will have engineered explosives. Probably will have something I want to handle with a Haywire Might, but maybe not a lot. So in this case, I think is a case where you bring in Terra Sunder. That way you have an extra removal spell to kick it against an Orcish Bowmasters if I really need it. Yep. Thoughtseize matchup. Get rid of some of the synergistic cards, but they have Ragavan, so I want to keep all the geese. I'll keep 1 Blood Fountain this time. Cut you, call it a day. Really hope to just be able to draw and resolve a 1 ring, or be able to get their early threats with some of my removal. I think this is one of my worst matchups. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet, but alright, Grixis Shadow for game 5. We gotta win 2 back-to-back, but to come out positive with a 3-2, but I'll take a 2-3. Playing against so many bad matchups, it's I think it's fine. I guess this is why this is the Bowmasters meta people have been talking about. I haven't played too much super recently. No lands, great, love it. Oof. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Just bottom a land, bottom a grave. If they just turn one Ragavan, I'll definitely discard Manufactor, and then we can unearth it and generate some value. If they Thoughtseize, you know, not the best, but I get to keep one of these pieces. Alright, this suggests Bolt, so I'm not going to commit all those resources. Oh, we'll chase. That's good. Boseiju could theoretically come in important at some point. Now they don't think I have Oval Chase, which is also nice. Could theoretically cycle on Earth, but I'm just gonna... I'll shock in case I really want to, but here we're just gonna see what they do. They could have Drown. But they can only Drown for one. So they could counter my Unearth. So here we'll just play the Manufactor, I think. Oh, nice. Marsh, play Manufactor. Can't Drown it, but you probably have Bolt, so we'll just pass the turn. If they want to Bolt on the end step, we get the permanence regardless. Pass the turn. And this is where it's nice to hold the Unearth. Orcish Bowmasters. I mean, if they're gonna tap out now, I'm gonna get the value before they could theoretically have removal. Okay. Definitely another situation where we're not gonna block. Okay, they just deal the damage to me. All right, go ahead. Although I guess having the Unearth, but I was pretty sure they had a Drown. I guess it could have just been Bowmasters. I usually like to play around stuff if I can, so we'll see what happens. Alright, iteration. Thoughtseize. Okay. If that's all they're doing this turn, is Thoughtseizing, that's actually totally fine. Because they're just going to take on Earth. Yeah. Which isn't great, but like... Now you know, they can only they don't want to attack anymore, and I get more value out of this Manufacturer, which means at least another clue, which is really powerful. One ring, whew, that is strong. Now we could hold the Boseiju, but I don't think it's going to be important because we could use a treasure. I'd rather use all the resources at my disposal. But here's where we can draw a card. See if we hit something, anything within 2 mana, we can, we got 2 treasures. Alright, we can take a little bit of extra damage here, although this Deadly Dispute is kind of heinous. Okay, they dealt it to me. I got a protection now, so I'm gonna have to use it at some point, yeah. And growing the Orc doesn't matter, so I think I dispute now. Because they can only deal 2 damage to the Manufactor. And they can't hit me anymore. I think I'll value clues this time more. Ooh, push. Now we can get the... Okay. Nice goose draw. I definitely want to get this Bowmasters off the table so I can start cracking more clues. And they could have a drown next turn, so I think I just deal with it right now. Alright. The One Ring! Let's hear it for the One Ring, everybody. Single-handedly, you know, being pretty awesome. They got the drown. That's quite alright. We've generated so much value. We can always chump the Orc army next turn. I have protection from everything, honey buns. Protection from everything! Whoops! Alright, go to 12. Time Sieve. Ooh! Spicy draw. Alright, let's draw first, see if we get a Manufactor. We don't. Wow. This is turning out to be a really good hand. Alright, we'll lead on Cookbook. We would rather have you try to drown a Cookbook. And if you do, I can resolve this. I mean, they could still have the drown. I don't know how well this person would be aware of this archetype. But let's generate our foods first. I might want to activate Goose, but I'll play around Spell Pierce. I'll respect the Pierce. Alright, they had the drown and they were just saving it. Okay. So I can chump block the Orc army next turn if I want to, and then activate, or I can crack a clue. But, you know, whatever, we'll pass. No matter what, I can do what I want. Crack a clue, crack a food, activate Goose. I'd like to not take this 4 damage, since we're going to be losing 2 from the ring next turn. So I think we'll chump if we get the chance. If we tapped like a Manufactor, we had two Cookbooks anyway, so I'm not losing out on too much value. Did they just cast not the one from exile and from their hand? That's weird. Block. I think here I'd rather just crack a clue, so I'm just gonna block. I want to be able to untap with all this mana and do something with it. Also need to find something eventually for to get the ring off the table. Chump blocker's great. Let's go to 10. Can make a construct. Chump blocker. Alright, let's draw. Lots of good cards. Here I think we want to lead on Sarenth and then get our triggers in. Maybe find a source that doesn't deal damage, because I don't really want to take the 2 here. Alright. Manufacture. We gotta leave that on top. Discard Ovalchase. Now we can hold the Goose to trigger Manufacture next turn. They could turn Dragon's Rage Channeler on, but right now they're getting in with Shadow and Orc Army if they're okay with losing one of them. If they have a Drown, could be problematic. But I don't really want to go to 8. It's tough. Maybe I should. They're bigger than 2/2s and I'm going to chump block, so I think I'm going to call it worth it. Missed the trigger on Manufacture, but we can always activate next turn. And now I can just, if the Sarenth doesn't need to block, I can dig for Time Sieve. Alright. Put some Bowmasters in the bin. That's interesting. They gotta find some kind of removal here. I mean, Drown is really good. Alright, they hit the Delta. They could still have a Drown. Gonna push the Shadow into a big creature. Engineered explosives on 0. That's very bad news for me. They do kill their token though. So I think here I think I have to force them to sack that, and then I can chump block the Shadow with Goose, take 3, go to 5. And I lose my foods and clues, but I'm drawing a Manufactor next turn. So let's force them to crack this as soon as we possibly can. Crack explosives. Alright. We're keeping on top. Go to blocks. Go to 5 and then go to 2. Maybe I don't want to do that. I can crack a food in response to a bolt. So this is what we're gonna do. Now we want to preserve as much mana as possible to dig for time sieve. So don't wanna tap below 2 mana though, because I'm gonna need. Let's get a cookbook. All right, cookbook trigger. What do we got? Time sieve right on top. Okay, so here's where we're going to cast you. With the trigger on the stack, we can discard Cat Oval Chase. Get a bunch of triggers. Oh, I forgot I have the One Ring. Lol. They don't have any counter spell magic up, so. Oh, Bolt Manufactor. Okay, that's fine. I'll draw. We just gotta find an Unearth or a Manufactor.
No.
I think they don't have a Bowmasters. Let's go cast Deadly Dispute, sack the One Ring. We got everything we need out of the ring, and I do not have any more life left to lose. Now it's just the fun of stacking a bunch of triggers that are, like, I don't know why they can't just auto-stack. Might get the concession here. Okay. Now we can, I don't even need all these lands. I'm just going to start discarding lands so I don't have to deal with the Oval Chase triggers. Actually, I'll bin that. Let's just dig for Unearth or Manufactor. And I have another Deadly Dispute, so we're just gonna go ahead and fire that off, get all the value we can out of the Manufactor. I'm gonna tear asunder. Oh my goodness. The One Ring. I really just don't need it, you know? Alright, Bolt resolves, I'll make a food, get another trigger, herbivore. We're gonna have to discard so many cards this turn. Look at all these lands off the top. Get that Saga down. Alright, let's Sieve. They might just concede to the Sieve. They're at 7, right? Alright, there we go. I'm assuming they're going to concede to backup Manufactor, and now we can just discard all these cards that we just don't need. Alright, Saga. Player Borg. Unearth the last piece of the combo. Do you concede? If you don't, you're dead next turn from Construct. So let's just play this as fast as possible. Let's discard just a land, get these triggers over with. Alright. Go to my next turn, kill you. Go to game 3. Let's see if we can pull a miracle out for okay, there we go. Begin sideboarding. Do I want to change anything? I think it's pretty straightforward. Could theoretically take the Terrace Under back out for another Haywire Might. Terrace Under probably is not super necessary. Sometimes you do just need an extra piece of removal, but I think we'll just run it back. Did they have Yogan at the game too? I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, they do. Okay, so they don't have any... so Thoughtseize is pretty bad because of the cookbook, but having the Saga is really nice. Plus the Dispute. I think it's a keep. We can fight through Thoughtseize. We have the Ragavan. Okay, Channeler. Alright, this is like... I mean, Channeler is still a threat, but this is ooh. Okay. Definitely doing this. If you know, if they commit something and don't leave up mana for removal, we can go for a turn 2 Unearth Manufacture. Alright, Thoughtseize me. I imagine they probably take the Dispute or the Unearth. Unearth is versatile in this hand with multiple creatures. I mean, you definitely can't take the Manufacture. Unless you're planning on, you know, just bolting it and trying to... But, okay, yeah. Take the Unearth. Which probably means I'm disputing next turn. Just discard, you know, whatever is the least important. Hopefully find an Oval Chase in here at some point, and get a Saga in play. Pretty strong against them now. Urborg kind of helps them with their Steam Vents, but this is a matchup where life total matters a lot. So I think here we discard the Overground Tomb. Now they could have a Spell Pierce, but I'd rather play around Drown, having to discard the card. I don't want to do it on their turn. Nice. I don't want to give up my treasure. They could Thoughtseize the Haywire, but I don't think that's super important. Yeah. We're just gonna go to the turn. Doesn't add any artifacts to into play either, since we're giving up the treasure for our construct that's coming down. Now the construct will be a 3/3, and we can make it a 4/4 at instant speed with the cookbook activation. So they'll have to have a drown or a push to get rid of it. I love seeing no delirium on this Dragon's Rage Channeler for 2 turns in a row. No Alpine Moon. So this is definitely a Urborg play and pass. Want to have construct activation up this turn. You want to leave, since the Urza Saga gets sacked, the Blooming Marsh will come into play untapped next turn. And then we have extra green mana. Oof. This tells me they don't have a way of making Delirium, which means they don't have Drown, because they could have just attacked. I make a construct, you drown it, put an instant in the bin, get the 4th card. So I think this pretty solidly means they don't have instant speed removal? That's really weird to me. They have so much in their deck. I guess they could have a Dress Down and they want to catch both construct tokens. With that in mind, maybe we do want to do something else this turn. So I think I'll respect the dress down. We don't need a second cookbook at the moment, so I'm just gonna, let's get engineered explosives off of our watch list. I got 4 cards. They can drown whatever they want. I think I want to go for double Sarenth. You know, this is a value engine. This is quite nice. Now, do I want to attack? What could I attack? I could attack into a Bowmasters, but they would have to triple block. And I can still discard a card. So I think we get in. They're at 13. Let's pressure your life total. Now they gotta have artifact removal plus engineered explosives, but I have, you know, now my permanents are also just very spread out. We got 0, powerful 0, powerful 1, powerful 2s. So even my construct I can grow bigger than these shadows, although double shadow, pretty powerful here. It still just feels like they don't have instant speed removal, because they're not attacking with the channeler. This is just so weird to me. So this is nice. Now, since they don't have any artifact enchantments in play, we can use the Haywire Might not only to trigger the Steel Seekers, but to grow the construct and then chump block the Death Shadow and pad our life total. So that's pretty sweet. I'm okay putting the second cookbook out. I maybe wouldn't if we didn't have the needle on explosives, because you always want to have access to a cookbook. But here, I think we want to just start digging through our library for sagas and other impactful cards. Now, Dispute is nice, but I'd really rather just look for an Asmo or an Oval Chase. So here I just think I'll do that. And then let's get the Manufactor down. Let's get the Manufactor down. If they still don't have removal, I can, you know, put my construct way out of range. So weird, you're countering this when you could have killed the construct and gotten in. That to me is just so strange. But, you know, with that in mind, I think I want to get another 2 triggers and put this chump blocker in play, since my construct won't be able to grow above the shadow range immediately. Goose isn't very impactful. We can bin that. And then dig for something else. Don't need really a 5th land ever. Or at least not at the moment. Nice. Hit the Oval Chase. Now we can give up the land and make this a 7/7, and I think we will do that. Now we get the Oval Chase back in hand, and we can dig for another. Oh, there we go. We can block a Dashed Ragavan, so no problem. I will leave everybody back on blocking duty. I'll definitely take 3, going to at least 15. I'm happy to chump block a Shadow. They could have. Do they even get in? Oh, they don't even get in with the shadows. Wow. So I'm happy to go to 15. Wow, they're at such a low life total. Oh yeah, I guess they really can't attack since it isn't a lethal attack. All right, they got a backup channeler, no land drop, or they have a land and are pretending like they have something. So in my upkeep, I have Asmo that I want to draw, so we just draw. And now let's generate a bunch of removal spells. Even if they have instant speed, something to lose life, I still get to get a removal spell on 1 shadow. We're going to search anyway. We don't really need an Asmo in the bin for Unearth because they're going to have to remove they're going to have to remove Asmo first. All right. Love, love, love how this game is playing out. This is wild. If we pull out on top of this one, that would be a pretty sweet. Ooh, time sieve. We can fetch shock next turn and cast this, so we probably want to leave this on top. I think we do just leave this on top. Great draw next turn. We can just leave all the stuff on top. I can start yielding to these. And now because they haven't reacted with any kind of removal here, I think it's pretty safe to go kill Shadow before you can grow it out of our range. Kill Shadow. Now you have to chump block Construct. And now I'm okay giving up a Steel Seeker. Alright, got only a couple minutes left on the clock, but we got them on their back foot. So let's just push. 2 cards. Yes! Hey, there we go! Got the 3-2, even against Rakdos Shadow Whisper. I think is a much better matchup than that Sultai Shadow. That felt pretty awful. So, nice. Got a nice 3-2. That's awesome. Love to see that. 2-1 versus Grixis Shadow. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any comments on misplays that I did, there were several that I did notice and point out. But if there are other stuff or tips you've got or just questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll keep making league videos with the same deck because it's my favorite. And yeah, I've been Lazy Cat Lady, and thanks everyone. All right, bye.